Looking forward to go out here and see how competitive we are. Honestly, I don't really know. Yeah, we're making nice improvements.
Max Verstappen was investigated by the FIA on Friday, avoided a car crash by inches, and walked away with zero penalty. And that's not the only thing that happened to him this weekend. Before we get into it, one of you commented on our last video saying, "Come with facts, you are only suggesting and talking about rumors. Fair." So this video is built entirely on official steward documents, on-record quotes, and timed session results. Every single claim sourced, no guessing. Here's everything that actually happened to Max Verstappen at the Hungaroring, documented. Let's get into it, but before, if you want more updates and news on Max, then hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. Context first, because it matters. This is the final race before Formula One's month-long summer break, and for Red Bull, this weekend carries extra weight. Verstappen currently sits 7th in the driver's standings, and reports, which will flag clearly as reports not confirmed fact suggest his contract contains a performance clause tied to where he stands by the summer break. Neither Red Bull nor Verstappen has publicly confirmed the exact terms of that clause. What is confirmed on the record? Friday started with a practice incident involving Carlos Sainz, continued with Verstappen dodging every future-related question thrown at him, and ended with his own team admitting the car simply wasn't fast enough. 3 separate, documented storylines. Let's go through each one with the actual paper trail. Here's exactly what the FIA's own incident report says happened. Early in FP1, Verstappen was on his first flying lap when he came up behind Sainz's Williams, which had slowed unexpectedly on the racing line approaching turn 12. Verstappen was forced to take avoiding action. On team radio, he was heard saying, "Unbelievable, these guys. That was actually really dangerous." He then slowed significantly at turn 12 himself and gestured at Sainz as he passed. Both drivers were flagged for driving erratically and summoned to the steward's room after the session. That's not speculation. That's the official classification used in the FIA's own investigation notice, confirmed by Planet F1 and Motorsport Week's reporting of the steward documents. So what did the FIA actually decide? This part is fully documented, not rumored. Sainz explained to the stewards that a radio issue meant he never heard his engineer's warnings that Verstappen was closing in, but the stewards ruled he still shouldn't have been braking on the racing line without confirming the track was clear behind him. Verdict: Sainz received an official warning. Verstappen's case was different. The steward's document states the driver he passed, Sainz, confirmed he wasn't affected by Verstappen's slowdown, and no other car was impacted either. Their conclusion, in their own words, no further action. So the headline, "Verstappen escapes penalty," isn't a guess or a spin. It's the literal outcome printed on the FIA's own decision document, filed and time-stamped after Friday's session. Okay, before we go any further, make sure you're smashing that hype button because it's about to get a lot more insane. Now the second documented story of the weekend, Verstappen and the future question he keeps refusing to engage with. Asked directly, on record, whether he'd be at Red Bull next season, Verstappen gave reporters this exact quote: "There's nothing to say because nothing is happening right now." Not a denial, not a confirmation, a refusal to play along with hypotheticals. His words, not our interpretation. He added that if there's ever something real to report, he'll address it himself. That's a direct quote from Thursday's media session in Budapest, reported by multiple outlets covering the same press conference. We're not telling you what it means. We're telling you exactly what he said, and you can judge the tone for yourself. Here's the fact versus rumor line, clearly drawn. Confirmed on record, Verstappen sits 7th in the championship. Confirmed, he trails second-placed Lewis Hamilton by 68 points with only 25 available at Hungary. Confirmed, Red Bull team boss Laurent Mekies, when directly asked about exit clause speculation, told Bild, "An agreement is an agreement. A contract is a contract." That's Mekies' own quote, not our summary. What's reported, but not officially confirmed by either party, the specific wording and trigger conditions of any performance clause in Verstappen's contract. We're flagging that distinction on purpose, because that's precisely the difference between a fact and a rumor. And it's the difference this channel is committing to getting right every single time, starting now. Third documented story: the car itself. Verstappen finished Friday 3rd in FP1 and 4th in FP2, 7/10 off pace-setter Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari, with teammate Isaac Hadjar a full second back. Red Bull's own technical director Pierre Wache didn't dress it up. Asked about Friday's running, his quote was blunt. A lot of complaints. Difficult to drive the car. He explained that stronger wind between FP1 and FP2 exposed how sensitive the RB22 is. Small changes throwing off the whole balance on a bumpy circuit. That's not us speculating about Red Bull's form. That's their own technical director on the record, describing his own car as not quick enough. The same weekend his driver is dodging questions about staying. Full numbers, all sourced, FIA verdict, Sainz, official warning. Verstappen, no further action, per the steward's published decision document. Timing: Verstappen 3rd in FP1, 4th in FP2, 7/10 off Hamilton's pace-setting Ferrari lap. Hadjar around a full second back in FP2. Standings: Verstappen 7th in the Drivers' Championship, 68 points behind second-placed Hamilton, with 25 points available across the Hungarian Grand Prix weekend. His last shot to move before the summer break. Quotes on record: Verstappen on the Sainz incident, calling it actually really dangerous over team radio. Verstappen on his future, saying flatly, there's nothing to say because nothing is happening right now. Mekies on the contract speculation, insisting an agreement is an agreement, a contract is a contract. Wache on the car, admitting a lot of complaints, difficult to drive the car. Every single one of those is a direct attributed quote from this weekend's coverage. GP Fans, Planet F1, Motorsport Week, Racing News 365, and GMM all carrying overlapping confirmation of the same events. That's 4 independent outlets, 1 story, 0 contradictions. So to the subscriber who left that comment, this is the video you asked for. Every claim here traces back to an official FIA document. A direct quote or a timed session result. No guessing about what Verstappen really meant. No invented drama. What we do know, he survived a steward's investigation with no penalty. He's giving nothing away about his future in his own exact words. And his own team is publicly admitting the car isn't fast enough right now. All 3 happening in the same 48 hours, heading into a summer break that could shape the rest of his season. We'll keep tracking it the same way. Facts first, sources named, every time. If that's what you want from this channel, hit that hype button and subscribe, because qualifying and the race are still to come.